Guys, welcome back to the Blue Room Therapy. As you already know, my name is Keaton and I am your therapist in the Blue Room. If you are new in the Blue Room, on here we analyze and we talk about toxicity and trauma in the workplace, toxicity in the corporate organization, toxicity in the workplace at large. You shouldn't have to work anywhere that is not safe or sane for your mental health. Step into the Blue Room, let's discuss. We all have stories to tell in the corporate organization or in the workplace. Today we'll be sharing a story very personal, very personal, because it was experienced firsthand. When you get a job and it is, I might be very wrong, but when you get a job and it is from a third party, make sure you read all your contracts of agreements before you agree or before you proceed, because a lot of people are suffering in silence because they cannot go back and undo what has been done. Today's story, like I said, is very personal, and the traumatic experience of the day goes thus. I used to work in an organization where the job was, I got employed by a Nigerian living in Nigeria but was working for a US company. So because I was a Nigerian living in Nigeria, they deemed it fit that I was supposed to be paid in Naira, which wasn't a big deal because when I got the job, I knew what I was getting myself into, and because it was a third-party organization. But the painful part was the fact that I could see my checks. I was saying that I was getting paid in dollars. I was getting paid bi-weekly, but I got paid once a month. It was not a big deal. It was actually not a big deal because I did sign a contract that, my salary was supposed to be this stimulated amount of money in Naira. So it wasn't a big deal until the company started acting funny when it was time to make payment. It was already a big deal that I got paid every first of the month. Unlike every organization, people get paid 25th, 27th, or even 30th. But first to first is actually 1 month. So it continued like that until something really funny happened that broke the camel's back. As we already know that in December, all organizations give you incentive just to boost your morale, to make you happy, to even tell you, congratulations, well done, job well done. Round the year, you've been a faithful and loyal staff, and this is what we want to give you to boost your morale so that you can come back and work the next year, obviously. So this particular organization, when it was time for me to, when it was December, when it was time for them to give me incentive as usual, that was where the problem started. It was already stated in my employment contract that I was entitled to a 13th month salary. So we got a mail from the head of human resource. We got a mail from human resource that we're going to get paid on the 1st of January for 13th month. It was already a big deal because this was not my first rodeo. I have worked in quite multiple organizations, and you're telling me that you're going to give me my 13th month salary on the 1st of January, another year entirely. Let's say this was 2023, I was going to get paid for my 13th month salary on the 1st of January 2025, or did I say 2023, 2024, which makes no sense, because if your 13th month salary doesn't come with your December salary, to come days after, or at least end of the month, that is the last day of the year. No problem. It wasn't a big deal actually, because no problem, understandable. I got paid for December. I did not see the 13th month because it had already been stated I was going to get paid on the 1st of January. Okay, 1st of January came, no show. 2nd of January, no show. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, still no show. And I'm like, what is going on? And we got a mail. I can't quite remember vividly, but there was something that transpired before then. We got a mail, and then it was a network issue. Our salary or our payment was pending because there was a payment process. There was a payment process problem, which, okay, very understandable, but at least pass information to us. It had become a norm, because even when you say you're going to get paid on the 1st, our salary usually comes on the 1st. We don't usually ever get paid on the 1st. It's either the salary comes 2 day late, 3 day late, or 4 days late. Anytime payment is due, there's always something that is going wrong. So it was a red flag, honestly. It was a toxic thing to do, because why are you holding on to my salary? I have worked for 30 days, 31 days, and you're not paying me on the day that is stipulated on my employment contract that I'll be getting paid. Why? So 5th came, and then we got a mail, like I said, that our payment process was delaying because there was a problem. Okay, understandable. That same day, before the end of the day, before close of business that day, we got payment, and I'm like, what? My salary is not this amount. Even if I don't get half of my salary, because sometimes your bonus might be your net, your half of your net, or your gross. It depends on what organization you're working for. At least let it be half or something. Some organizations even do it so well to the fact that your 13th month salary is more than your salary, because they don't put HMOs, they don't put tax, they don't put all the tariffs they remove, because they just want you to be happy. Because it is the end of the year. I have worked round the clock. This is an organization that I never got a day off. There were times I even used to work on weekends. Yeah, it was that bad. There were times I used to work on weekends. There were times that a lot of things transpired with this job, but the payment thing was the issue. So we sent a mail, and like, why did I get paid this amount? I'm not questioning. I just want to know the calculation. And then we got referred to go back and check our employment contract. That was stated that 13th month bonus, not 13th month salary. And I am like, 13th month bonus and 13th month salary. Is it an English problem? Bonus is different from salary, quite alright, understandable, yes. But why would you want to do that to anybody, your staff? Because the amount I got paid was not even 10% of my salary. It was like, I don't even know how to explain. It was a percentage of my salary. It was not up to half. It was not close to half. It was not even close to the full amount. And then words started flying out up and down that it is discretionary, that they could have decided not to pay us. This is a company that, because it was a US organization, I was working as a Nigerian living in Nigeria with instant standard time. I would wake up by, let's say, 7 a.m., do what I have to do, and start working by 4 p.m. till 1:30 a.m., 8 hours a day. And you're telling me that the one time that I feel appreciated working, the one time that I feel like, oh, it is the end of the year, everybody's supposed to be happy, merry, and then there's Christmas, there's going to be New Year celebration. Let's be merry. It's that time of the year. You're telling me that I am only entitled to a fraction of my salary because it is stipulated and it is stated on my employment contract that it is bonus. That was not even a big deal, because I was not the only one. Then, as an organization, we had a group chat, so a lot of people started dropping their hot takes that this is quite painful, this is not what we expected, this is an organization that I would sit down for 8 hours and work back to back. Back to back. When I was on this job, I did not have a life, because when my friends are trying to go out, or when it's time to go out to go and do anything, I am working. When people are sleeping, I am awake. That's how it was for me. It was really, really traumatizing. And it was a customer support role. I had to pick calls, back-to-back calls. There were days I had to pick 400 plus calls. I was always speaking to clients, saying this, saying that. On top of that, there was racism on the job. There were people that would tell me that, why am I calling them? I should go back to my country. I am a foreigner. This is something HR has never picked up. I complained a lot of times. A whole lot of times. HR never picked it up. HR never saw a reason to even your mental health, let's have a one-on-one conversation. But when it became the topic of discussion, that people were complaining about how they were not happy about their 13th month salary being a fraction of their salary, we're told to go for a one-on-one with the CEO. And I'm like, I don't want a one-on-one with the CEO. The mail I sent was that I just wanted to know how my 13th month was calculated, so that going forward, I will know how it is calculated. I will know what to expect and what not to expect. And you're telling me to go meet the CEO for a one-on-one. Why are you not telling me how much my money was calculated? Because this is somebody that works for an organization that pays me bi-weekly. But it is not of my business, none of my business actually, because I know what I signed in my employment contract. This is somebody that got paid Christmas bonus at my office, and then you are giving me a fraction of my 13th month. I mean, I don't even feel entitled to your money. Why work? I am the one that has to sit down. Sorry, I am the one that has to sit down from 4 p.m. Nigerian time to 1:30 a.m. Imagine sitting down all through that, and in the middle of these 8 hours, I'm only entitled to 30 minutes break, 15 minutes lunch, and 15 minutes recess. And you're telling me that I should pick, if I have any issues or if I'm not contented with the amount I got paid, I should pick it up with the CEO, a one-on-one with the CEO. Which just leaves me to wonder why people behave like that. I don't understand. We as Nigerians, sometimes we have our own problems. Because tell me why I get paid well in an organization that I work for just because it's a third-party organization that I work for, because I don't work for them directly. The company is already hijacked by a Nigerian, and we are being given crumbs of the salary. We get paid in dollars, but the Nigerian company believes that we are Nigerian living in Nigeria, so we are not entitled to dollars as well. So we have to get paid in naira, which is not a big deal, because when I got the job, everything was explained and I was fine with it, because the salary is actually okay. But the one time, which was in December, that I requested for my 13th month salary, you think I am only worthy of a fraction of it? So I'm just going to leave my viewers with these few words, that no matter how desperate you are for a job, because at that time of my life, I think I was actually really desperate to get a better job and get a well-paying job. I think no matter how desperate you are to get a job, I don't think you should ever sign a contract like that with anybody that or you work for. If it is a third-party organization, make sure you check, do your findings, go on Nairaland, go on Google, and check what the kind of reviews you get from the organization. Because it was after all of this started happening to me that I went to Nairaland and checked the company. I was like, oh, this is not their first time that they were treating people like this. So you should actually check the kind of organization that you work for, the kind of people, the kind of contract you would sign. Because I stupidly signed the contract. I was not forced. Nobody forced me to sign the contract. I signed the contract because I was ready to do that. I knew that the hard work, my labor, I was being paid bi-weekly salary, and my company was paying me once a month, which was not even a fraction of what the company was paying me. But fine. But when I was signing the contract, I did not realize that I would have access to my checks, because I was the one that actually approves my check bi-weekly before it's paid into my organization account. And when I saw the money, it broke me, because why do you think I am not entitled? Even if you had decided to pay me half of what the organization that we work for pays me directly, you would have still made a lot of money. No matter what, you would have made a lot of money. And when I calculated, I randomly just made a rough calculation of how much I had earned for the company. That was the company that employed me directly for that year. I realized that the company had made $22,000. If you convert that to naira, you know how much that was. And when I calculated how much I had earned as an individual from my company that employed me, the third-party organization, I could not account for 10 million naira Nigerian naira for a whole year. And it was quite funny. And then I knew right there and then that I couldn't do this anymore, because I felt cheated. Before, the money was not a big deal because I was getting paid. I mean, I was just doing my job. I'm somebody that I just want to get my job done and get paid. But the fact that the 13th month salary was the last straw that broke the camel's back, because you are telling me that I get paid bi-weekly, that means I get paid twice a month. My company, the company that you took the job from, paid me December bonus, and you did not pay me in December. I got paid for my December salary, yes, but you did not pay my 13th month salary in December. You did not pay on the 1st like we agreed. You paid on the 5th day of a new year. Where is he head of? Who does that? 13th month salary in a new year, in January, and it was not even the 1st day of the year, it was like the 5th day of the year. And then I requested for the calculation, and then you're telling me a lot of back and forth. You're telling me that I was questioning your authority. Excuse you? Questioning your authority because I demanded to know how my 13th month was calculated. There are a lot of foul plays in organizations, a lot of foul plays like this, because tell me why I am requesting just a simple request. You told me that, I was questioning your authority, and before all of this, because of the back and forth that I had mentioned that was going on WhatsApp, people were showing their displeasure, and because I think somebody got 60,000 naira. We're all on the same salary range, and somebody got 60,000 naira as 13th month salary. So people were showing their displeasure, and people said really mean things. I can't lie. People said a lot of mean things on the group chat, and somebody will come back. There will be a day that will speak about snitches and people that snitch in a corporate organization. Somebody went and screenshotted everything that we had said and sent to the third-party organization that we work for, and then we got a mail for insubordination instead of picking up the actual thing that we complained about, the displeasure that we had sent in the mail. Because it was not just me, a lot of people dropped their takes like in mails, professional mail and all of that. Instead of it to actually talk about what we had discussed, you picked up unprofessional manners and languages that were dropped in a group chat to a professional mail saying that we should explain why we're saying this and that about our organization and why we should not insubordination. Yeah, it was titled insubordination and why our employment should not be terminated. I knew that right there and then I was working for a toxic organization, because tell me why I'm clamoring for an explanation, a breakdown of my 13th month salary, and you're telling me that we were being disrespectful, we're subordinating you in a private group chat conversation that somebody just randomly screenshotted and was wicked enough to snitch and come and drop to you. Make it make sense. What is the correlation? So I knew right there and then that I was not cut out for this job anymore. I was tired and I couldn't do it anymore. So I terminated my appointment. I terminated my contract with them. When I terminated my contract, because I did not apologize for insubordination, I was told that my employment had been terminated as well. And I was like, before you terminated my employment, I have terminated you as my employer because I don't think I can do this anymore. And it was a lot of back and forth. And up until this moment, maybe tomorrow or next year, that year that I worked for this organization, they did not pick up or even apologize for cheating any of us. It was not just me that left. We were like 3 people that left at the same time because we could not take it anymore. So please, I would love that before you sign any contract of employment, don't be desperate and be sure that you actually want to work for an organization, not because the money is okay, and do your background check. Check the organization, check what people have to say, go on LinkedIn, go on Nairaland, Google, and ask questions. When you see people on LinkedIn that has worked for the organization in the past, ask why they left. Know why they left. Things like that are very important before you take on a job. The money should not be the priority. I mean, money is the priority because the better the pay, the more peace of mind and the more financially secure you can be. But make sure that you do your findings before you accept any job offer. So thank you very much for the love that you always give the Blue Room Therapy, and I apologize for dropping a new episode very late. It's been a while. I had a lot going on, and that's why I could not drop episodes like almost immediately. But going forward, I'll do better. Thank you so much for coming into the Blue Room Therapy. I am still your host and your favorite therapist, Kita. Thank you.